Science College, Erode. Ma'am has more than 13 years of teaching experience in various reputed colleges. Ma'am also published 7 articles in Scopus and Web of Science. Ma'am has also got patent in a systematic approach enabled with IoT technologies to monitor the water resource avoiding disasters. Ma'am has participated and presented papers in conferences conducted by various institutions. Ma'am also published several books, Advanced Networks, Research Methodology, Advanced Database Management System, Advanced Networking, Environmental Studies. This year, ma'am applied for ICSSR project in SIT Hub in Erode district. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invites. Once again, I welcome all of you for the distinguished delegates from various institutions for participating in our national conference. Thank you. Sorry, welcome once again. Ma'am, shall I call upon the participants, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Dr. Vidya Satish.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
can you hear
yes,
me?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, while you are presenting your PPT, you just on the video.
Hello? Yes, ma'am.
While you are presenting the PPT, you just on the video, ma'am.
Hello? The screen is visible to all? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Yeah. So I'll introduce myself. So my name is Vidya Satish, Dr. Vidya Satish. I'm an assistant professor, SDNP Vaishnava College. So today I'm going to present the topic. It's based on the observations of IoT at recent trends. What observations? Observations, it's focused with the cyber community. The cyber community has been, everyone knows that cyber community has developed its very large boom during the decades. So moreover, how much it has been developed is massive growth, and simultaneously, the more the intrusions, the virus, so the intruders also get its groom in the network level. So what is the intrusions? So moreover, we all may know about that the viruses, the trojans, so malwares. So the malwares means, say, either it happens either through the unknowingly or knowingly by the persons. So that's why my observations focus on the intrusions attack, and moreover, what is the research objective here? Even though the very diversified technologies, methodologies are being developed against these malwares, but even though still the malware is being existed still. So so we are going to see about the observations of what is water. So my theme is, I'm going to present so what are the methodologies and what is the solutions which need to be further more, and what going to be happen in the future enhancement. So the existence of intrusion traces in the network is a serious menace in the security scenario in IoT. Exactly. So the intrusion traces means, as I said, the presence of viruses. So the presence of viruses, either the person may know or may not know. Everyone may be face it in a day-to-day life. So it is also, there is going to be the serious threat for the cyber industry. So the very diversified technologies, specifically during the decades. So two types of techniques has been imposed. That is either by the signature based, then anomalous based. The signatures based means, so make the system to be trained, whatever the known viruses, so that will be get interrupted, or it will be get outrooted at the firewall level itself. Whereas the anomalies means, So the unknowing virus, so that automatically they either it had been injected through the network itself, so that will cause the very serious inject to the systems, which means so it will affect the system, so it will affect the entire system. So either through the by without knowing the person, without unknowingly the system may get trashed, or the system get damaged, entire damage. So this is a very serious threat, the anomalies based. The signature based, the even though we have been achieved the by detecting the viruses, but the anomalies based viruses has been still it being getting it's very challenge, because so day to day the viruses is changing its faces. And moreover, what happens, the person who have been intelligence or experts has been very fine difficult to they trace the anomalies. And we may know about the cryptocurrency process. So everyone has been incurred with the digitized money transactions. So the digitized money transactions also are being getting at the risk day to day life. So the main the example is we may give the Bitcoin, right? So even the in India the Bitcoin is banned, or it does not get exposure, but outside the India, then some of the countries is being practiced with the Bitcoins. So what happens here is there is will be the more risk at the practicing the Bitcoins, because the it is not been approved by the government agencies. So it's only the person who has been very mathematically solvable, or he has been very expertise in solving the puzzles, so he may get able to mine the Bitcoins within a fraction of minutes. So this is a very risky work which has been comes under the intrication framework of the Bitcoin. What happens here is so in case of getting of more money, the person who is making more money without any putting their own work, so he may think to mind the he may think to get the money very easily, uh, in a not in a prominent way. So the problem is, so there will be the more risky and intrusions. So it's also the risky factor. The cryptocurrency also comes under the circle of the intrusions. So these are some of the literature analysis have been taken. So what the literature analysis again? So you may ask, so what is the detection techniques has been focused against this type of attacks? So the problem is that we have been focused generally. The commonly it has been focused with the system being trained with the only the known signatures, which is like whatever the viruses or the DOS attacks or DDoS attacks, the whatever the attacks which has been incurred, so that comes under the criteria of signature. Even if there is any slight changes in a signature base, the system cannot be able to identify. That comes under the anomalies. So that's why I said that the anomalies has been more dangerous than the signature base, and it has been still the research existence has been the space has been there to avoid this, to overcome, to develop the strong system against the anomalies based detection systems. And these are the very classification techniques which has been focused in the against the in the detection analysis. And these are the learning which has been I've been taken the deep learning of deep study against the IoT attacks. So what are the basics of the, so some of the attacks which comes some of the techniques focused on the anomalies techniques. So it's mostly these are the type of techniques has been focused on the anomalies based. And moreover, the hybrid approaches of the both the evolutionaries, that is the optimization along with the machine learning techniques, gives a better results when compared to the single one hand approaches. And how this type of attacks is being recognized, identified, means it's based on the false alarm rate, which means so how much the false alarm means. So it case suppose the false negatives, false positives may appear, which means something it will be right, but exactly it will be the wrong. So that is a case of false positive. And detection accuracy, in some of the techniques what happens, the detection accuracy is achieve its maximum extent. So detection accuracy has achieved its maximum extent, but the false alarm, the false rate also, it gives at the more level, more than the 10%. And how the detection techniques has been fine tuned means, so the false alarm rate should be, it should be the more, if we increase the level, if we increase the level of false positives, so automatically the detection accuracy, it will become under the exact accurate level. So based on this path, so most of the techniques has been traveled, so that only we can able to identify or minimize the problematic, the minimize the virus levels which has been incurred against the anomalies. And the research gap, what is the research gap over here? So here, as I've said now, so high detection accuracy and minimal false positives has been taken as the major requirements for the classifications of intrusions. Exactly. So here the hybrid approach is not the trouble-free quest, which means the system should be the platform independent. That means the whatever the techniques we have been developing, so whatever the system being developing, that should be able to operate in all types of operating systems. So it's not only it should be specific and depend upon only on the Windows. So okay, so that's why they should be the platform. Whatever the system we have been developing against the anomalies, it should be have the platform independent. That is the second point. And third is that the system to be monitored and alert the persons if in case the anomalies is present. Yes, exactly. So that only something it's like the censored or it should give the alert to the person. So the human beings, so we can't be able to monitor the always 24/7, but we can develop the system to maintain the alerts, to give the alerts to the person, whether the any in case of any anomalies is present. So these are some of the classifications and some of the gaps has been present in while developing the system, and this should be overcome. And moreover, exact classification of the normal and the attack patterns should be need to improve. And most of the techniques has been achieved, but something is a slight variation has been finded again and again the drawback. And most of them it has been focused is only on the data set which has been already the data set which has been given, but it should be focused on the real time traffic patterns also. It give them more concentration so that we can able to identify how the real time network traffic patterns will be observed, and should be monitored to develop the better system. And future enhancement is which is that the scope of the performance of the detection techniques which need to be further work on the outside set of data, as I've said on the real time traffic patterns. So these are my observations which have been found based on the IoT. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I want only 4 clarifications, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one is you mentioned the topic is observations of IoT at present trends, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Not in the point of viruses and threats. That's all.
Ma'am, actually, the IoT, the presence of IoT, it comes under the, we may have been taken about the intrusions. So, what are all the viruses being incurred with the system? So, I've been taken some of the observation points as the presentation.
For that, you have to mention the title in the threads affected in that IoT at recent trends, right, ma'am?
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
that will be clarified.
Okay. When you are concentrating on only IoT, there are many classifications in the IoT, right, ma'am? Like artificial intelligence driven IoT.
Is there.
And then IIoT, like that blockchain technology. That's
Ma'am,
a
this is the base being taken. So I want to take
Okay.
so I want to mention, so what is the current trends, the viruses,
Viruses
the
are affected
yeah,
in that
yeah, yeah.
only general IoT, right,
So
ma'am?
yeah, it's a general. There is also, it's a very important that everyone
Should
the
notice.
intrusion. Yeah, the intrusions is a very basic major role is when the cyber industry is concerned. So the IoT is focused on all phase of life, that's like artificial intelligence,
Yes, ma'am.
mining, yeah, data analytics, and the intrusions also it's one of the part of that. So I've been taken the observations of yeah, IoT attacks. So, what are the impacts which has been created in the cyber industry?
Okay, ma'am. In future, you may use that AIoT and IIoT
Yeah, yeah,
for the
sure,
further
sure, sure,
research.
sure. Yes, sure,
Okay,
sure.
ma'am. And the third clarification that you were mentioning that IoT detection system in that sorry, intrusion detection system in that IoT, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
But
Yes, ma'am.
nowadays social
Actually,
network, yes, ma'am.
yeah, I want to clarify here. These are the some of the techniques has been developed by the expertise focused to overcome the attacks. But
Okay,
we want to go the long path. So it's only the minimized data set, the within the covered data set we have been working over that. But the problem is the anomalies has been facing changes its phases day to day life in any pact in any impact it is being created, right? We can't able to judge what kind of virus is it may affect the system. So we want
yes,
to have some of the fear when you are using the normally we are using the mobile, right? So we
yes,
won't
ma'am.
have, we will have always have the fear. So
Yeah.
to overcome that, we want to have the real time traffic traces. That is very difficult, but we want to develop the organizations have been come forward, to have the research funding should be improvised further to work over that. So that should be improvised further.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, yeah. Why we don't concentrate on that social networking IoT, ma'am? Because we are under IoT under the social network, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this is the I've been taken the only the general observations. What type of the attacks has been
Intrusions
affected?
affects in the IoT. That's
Yeah,
it, ma'am.
yeah, that's it.
Ma'am, you
So what?
mentioned that a false positive, right, ma'am?
Yes, false positive. The persons who have been, how we can able to identify and how we can able to correct the virus, because these are the two general criteria which has been followed when you have been focusing on the when you have been developing the system. So we can't able to directly identify the virus, that is very impossible. So we want to justify means make the system, make the virus to be included in the system, and we want to analyze. If we need to the analysis is very very important while being taking the while being correctifying the false positives, because the while we correcting the false positives only we can able to get the exact detection accuracy. Otherwise we can't able to identify, we can't able to get the detection accuracy. Some in techniques we may achieve that has been come under the, it is only the only the circularized environment. Circularized environment means the only in the data set the person can able to achieve its their they can show their achievement, they have been achieved, this much reduction of anomalies has been achieved, so this much of the false positives has been reduced, and been give the very good developing the developed system to verifying as an anomalies detection system to rectify over the anomalies. But that is not, but it should be analysis should be done over the real time traffic traces. I'll take it as a consideration, ma'am. So in social site also, so that may get affected by the viruses. So
Ma'am,
so this is was only the small observation point of view, how the intrusion it affects the human life day to day. So we are being, everyone is being observed by someone, but we are not sure about that.
sure. Yes, ma'am.
we, we are not sure about that. The problem is we have been using the digitized currency, without Google Pay we can't able to move the life. So everyone is being observed. We may get the anonymous call, the
Yes,
email,
ma'am.
we have been getting the anonymous email. The person who have been giving the very attractive words where you have been won some of this much of dollars, please go to the site. We may have come across that data news over that by mistakenly think about we have been very alert over this. Think about that the common man, if he have been click about the click, if he sometimes if he click that link, what happens? Say he will lose the money. We may come across like this news day to day life, right? So these are all the intrusions. Impact of intrusions is being affecting the IoT industry. So
Ma'am, you
that's
are
why
concentrating only on the false positive road, right, ma'am?
ma'am,
Then what
yes, ma'am.
about the negative survey, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm taking the only the observations of IoT. So
Observation, better you can include that negative survey also,
yeah,
ma'am,
sure,
because it
sure,
is
sure,
also another issue in the main IoT, right, ma'am?
sure, ma'am, sure, ma'am. This is a
Okay,
long way to go.
yeah.
Actually, I've been taken this
So
only
just
the
in the
small
initial step of this
initial
work, right,
startup.
ma'am?
Yeah, I've been taken
Yeah.
the only the initial startup. I have to
Startup,
be move further.
step,
This is a, it's
the
like it's a
intrusion
buzz.
detection in the real trends of IoT, right,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. That should be like that.
You may observe the intrusion detections in the current trends of the IoT,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
You
ma'am.
may
Yes, ma'am.
change the topic of the paper, and then you can proceed with these things, ma'am.
Sure, sure. I have to make over. I have to work over that more. So that I've been taken only the small part. I've been given the presentation over
Yeah.
here.
I
So
thought that your observations of recent trends in the IoT means what are the things happening in the IoT that I think. But you are
okay.
mentioning, but your paper go to take in the different diversions that intrusions and reductions in the IoT systems, right, ma'am?
Yes,
For
ma'am.
that, you have to specifically mention the title. What is your objectives of that paper, right?
Sure, sure, ma'am. Sure. I'll be
And also,
carrying.
you may consider about that not only that IoT, you can take over that other kind of IoT, or else you better go for that social networking, which
Okay,
may
ma'am.
does not affect the farmer man's. Casual means
Ma'am, I
doesn't
have to
affect
take
man.
a very long survey, descriptive survey
Yes, ma'am.
over here. So first, I want to
Okay.
take the very descriptive survey. I've been
Okay, ma'am.
taken is only the very few portion of the work, but it is not up to the point. So I have to travel a long path over here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I have to take the all the fields of what is the impact of IoT in all fields, there, especially in artificial intelligence, pattern
Intelligence.
recognition. Then moreover, the social networking sites. I have to travel a lot. So
Okay.
this is a very the common exam, and this is a very common portion I have been given here for presentation, ma'am. Surely
Okay.
I'll take your point as my motivation. So thank you, and
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Have a good day.
Can you able to switch on that video? May
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. Once again, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Is there any clarifications about that about from audiences? Any other participants wants to ask any queries? Hello.
Hello. Once again, ma'am.
No problem, ma'am. Any other participants wants to ask the question?
Ma'am, shall I call upon the next one?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to call upon the chat and BS in the
Yes, ma'am.
topic analysis of cloud computing.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank
you
you,
can
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I am audible.
Yeah,
Ah,
yes,
yes, sir.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, one and all who are present over here. Myself, Chetan VS from Acharya Bangalore P School. Today, I like to present the paper on analysis on cloud computing. So, what is cloud computing? Like we have seen, it is a collection of networks. Collection of networks. Today, it is an all era of cloud computing technologies in all the IT industries, and it is based on the internet, which has got most powerful architecture of computation. And today, cloud computing is a technology that mainly uses internet. If you have internet, is more than enough for this, for storing and managing the data on remote servers, and for accessing everything the data through internet. No need to install anything like no need of any physical infrastructure is needed here. Just if you have on Google Chrome is more than enough. On your web browser, all you need to have is web browser like Chrome to use this cloud computing. And the main features of this cloud computing is resource pooling, elasticity, and pricing is also very low, and quality of services is also good. So these are the features of cloud computing, and it also mainly offers scalability, flexibility is there, agility, and simplicity. So which is why it is rapidly increasing the day by day in all the enterprises. Example, we are using this cloud in our daily life like Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, and all. We can use it. We are using this in our daily life. And moving on to next is evolution of cloud computing. So this cloud computing was actually it was invented by Joseph Carl Robinet Licklider in 1960. So with his work with on ARPANET to mainly to connect the people. So in 1990 and later so many inventions happened. So in 1999, Salesforce company started distributing the applications the customers could use through the convenient websites. And later in 2002, Amazon Web Services were started by Amazon, and they were providing the services of storage and computation. And in 2009, many big companies also started like Google, Microsoft, HP, and Oracle also started. They're providing the services of cloud computing. So, for example, Google Photos, Google Drive, iCloud, everything all based on cloud computing. In future, this cloud computing will become the basic need for all the IT industries. The next we'll move on to the components of cloud computing. There are mainly three basic components of cloud computing. One is client computers, distributed servers, and data centers. So what is this client computers? The end users can interact with the cloud using this client computers only. And what about distributed servers? The servers that are distributed among different places, but they act like they are all working with each other. So that is why distributed servers. And data centers, they are the compilation of servers. They are mainly, they will compile the servers. So that is about the components of cloud computing. Next, we'll move on to services. So what are the services of cloud computing? Like there are three different services provided by cloud computing. One is SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. SaaS means software as a service. So it is a way of carrying an application as a service on the internet. So this is known as the software of a service. So in place of installing a software on this computer, you can simply use the application via internet, so that it makes the user free from managing all the software and hardware, and you no need to maintain hardware and update anything is not necessary, and you no need to buy the software also, no need to buy software or hardware, no need to maintain anything. So only thing you must have an internet connection to access the application. Example, MS Office, etc., all Google apps what we are using in our mobiles. So everything we can use it. And coming to next one is PaaS. PaaS is platform as a service. So it is a development environment or a platform is given to the consumers as a service in PaaS, upon which the users can deploy their own software and coding. And the customer has got a liberty to construct its own application that can run on the provider's infrastructure here. Here also we are using MySQL, PHP, and all. That is also PaaS. And moving on to last one is IaaS. IaaS means infrastructure as a service. Many computing resources are provided by IaaS in the form of storage, network, and operating system, and hardware and storage devices on demand. As users can access these services using WAN, such as internet. So, for example, a user can create one virtual machine by logging into this platform itself. So, next, we'll move on to the types of cloud computing. There are different types of cloud computing: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Public cloud means what? It is a computing service. Mainly it is provided by third party providers at the top of internet, and these services are available for any users who want to use them, and they have to pay only for the services what they have consumed. They have to pay only for that. So that is public. And moving on to private, as the name only say, private networks, it comes under the private cloud, and these services are offered only to selected users in the place of common people. And high security and privacy is delegated by private clouds through firewall and hostings. And last one is hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud is a combination of both public as well as private. So in hybrid, each cloud can be managed independently, but data and applications can be shared among the clouds in the hybrid clouds. So, and moving on to the benefits of cloud computing, like you can save, cost saving is there, flexibility is there, enhanced security is there. So cost saving in the sense the user have to pay only for the services what they have consumed, and maintenance cost is also very low for us. And flexibility, it is scalable. The rapid scale and for up and down in the operations of your business require quick adjustments of hardware and resources in order to manage the variations. And last one is enhanced security. It provides high security by using encryption and key management and security intelligence. So at the conclusion, I can say that, so I can in this analysis paper, I described the short in introduction, the evolution, the types and components, and also different approaches and some of its advantages. And the application area of cloud computing will be increasing continuously. Today, all small and big industries are using this cloud computing to manage storage, hardware, and requirements. So it is clear that there is a major impact on the cloud computing on society as well as on the business. So that is about one basic of cloud computing. Just I like to present some basic of cloud computing. So in this paper, just I started with analysis how the cloud computing is. Thank you. Is there?
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Sir, you have mentioned that advantages of that cloud computing very well. Then what about the
Yes,
disadvantages of cloud computing, ma'am? Sir?
ma'am, it is there, but many people are using the cloud computing, but there are also some fraud sequences may happen. That we have to look at this, ma'am.
So you just for cloud computing also in your PPT, right, sir? Because we
Okay,
are
ma'am.
taking that concept, right? For that,
Yes, ma'am.
every concept will have the some advantages and as well as the disadvantages, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah, moreover,
Yes.
this is not a new technique. It is already from the
Yes.
19.
Yes, 60 only it is there.
Then what else, sir? We have,
Yes, ma'am.
in spite of that advantages, you may add one more slide that disadvantages of the cloud computing also you can mention that, sir.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, sure.
Because we are doing some research assessments, even the advantages
Yes.
also there and the disadvantages
Yes.
also there, ma'am.
If you take
Can you
any
able to mention?
technology,
Yes, sir.
any advantages will also be there, disadvantages will also be there.
Then why don't you mention in that in your slide, sir?
As ma'am, I forgot actually. I will present. Sure.
Okay, sir. Can you able to give some suggestions about the disadvantages of the cloud computing? How
Like
can it be rectified soon?
so actually it is in somewhere disadvantages in the sense still some companies are not using this. That is one main disadvantage. Most of them are not knowing about this technology. Everybody they want to install the application itself. So that is only the main design for this. The so many people we have to need publicity for this. So many people are not using. Everybody wants to install the software only. So that is what on main drawback. So to mainly avoid that, we are mainly giving only through access through internet so that storage can be saved, application install, storage cost, everything can be managed, ma'am.
Because your topic is analysis of cloud computing, right? There, for that analysis, you may sense that the person answers of that cloud computing in that analysis, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, you have to mention that one.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, I'll mention.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes,
Next, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Next, I call upon Divya Jyoti E. And the topic basic essence of cloud computing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, once again, ma'am, if you are finishing your presentation, you just screen presentation turn off, ma'am.
Participants, a small request, kindly finish your presentation for your allotted time.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am,
Ma'am, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Your voice is not clear.
now, hello, ma'am.
Yes, your screen is visible, but your voice is not clear, ma'am.
Ma'am, now the
No, your voice is not audible. Ma'am, shall I call upon another person?
Yes, ma'am. You go ahead.
Okay.
Before that, you may request that Divya Jyoti ma'am to stop the presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I call upon the Durga Nadrajan.
Durga Nadrajan. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me start my presentation. Good morning to all. Once again. Once again. Is my presentation visible?
No, ma'am.
No. Once again. One second. Something is happening. Yes, I think I got it. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I think I can start my presentation. Very happy morning to all.
Press F5 to start,
Yes,
ma'am. Press F5.
I have pressed it. Is it not okay, ma'am? I pressed
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Your screen is visible only.
Is it in the slideshow or I have started F5, ma'am, actually.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine.
Your screen is visible.
Okay, fine. Let me start the presentation. And this is a review presentation about the preserving privacy in open social networks using cryptography, ma'am. Let me introduce myself first before I start the presentation. I'm an assistant professor working for DB Jain College, Computer Science Department. So this is about the social networks, which is very important nowadays, and all are into this open social networks. Before entering into cryptography, let me first clarify what is open social networks and what is closed social networks. Because everybody is there, but there is a minute difference between open social and closed social networks. So open social is the place where we can share anything with anybody. So trustworthy, untrusted person, known, unknown, everyone can come inside. And if you are tapped in, then automatically your data is shared with the third person. So that is open social networks. You're going to build social relationships with people known or unknown. And coming to the closed is where you share the data only with your known people, which is a little bit secured than, I won't say 100% secured, little bit secure than open social networks. Now, coming to the different types of social media we have, because there is a huge confusion between the social media networks, which comes under social networks, which comes under discussion forums, which comes under review networks. So, all these things. Let me clarify. Social networks, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those things come under the social networks. Media sharing is Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, all those things come under media sharing. You can share anything. And discussion forums, lot more things are there. And bookmarking, content curation is Pinterest, Flipboard, and so on. Consumer review networks, there are so many: Zomato, Swiggy, TripAdvisor, Make My Trip, and so on. So let us be clarified with the different types of social media network, because the attacks are also different in all these networks. So my next slide is about the usage of social networks by the people. This was taken in 2019 actually. This paper was I got it ready by 2019, so I couldn't use it during Corona time. So I am using this paper now. Might be this might change now. Actually, 2023 definitely the rates would have gone high. Now here the Facebook users are high, but I can assure Twitter, Instagram people would have grown more now. So coming to the attacks, this is the main session. So what kind of attacks we face in the social networks, and that too in open social networks. The first one is malware. I have taken a small example, that is the coup phase worm. We have got so many viruses and worms. I'm not going much deep into it. I'm just taking an example for malware. There is the coup phase, which is happening in Facebook. This worm is spread through the messages we share to our friends, and it is very dangerous and malicious. It could be in the form of a video, text, audio, anything. So we have to be very careful whenever we receive a message from a person. The name can be the same of your friends, but we have to be very careful, and you won't be knowing that it is a worm. So it is very uh, uh, bad for the users. They can take all the data of yours, the personal profiles, and with the personal profiles, they will be misinterpreting your data and misusing your data. So you have to be very careful. That is one of the major attacks in the Facebook. And the second one, the spam. As we all know, spam comes in our email. That is for it is for the advertisement strategy, actually, which is very malicious. If you click a link, already the first person explained about the links that we are going through. If you click that link, definitely all your data inside the email is being sent to somebody else, the unknown person, untrusted persons. So we have to be very careful with the unknown mails, which is in the spam. It is better to delete, or it is better to empty the spam folder. And hijacking, here comes the major work of the hijackers, that is the hackers. The hackers are everywhere. Even though if we use the 100% secured, if you say 100% secured is my platform, definitely there will be hackers around you to hack your passwords and all your details, all your data, everything. So through phishing, they hack it, and we have to be very careful. So these are the some of the attacks. And one more thing that is happening in databases, that is on the web application developer side. SQL injection is another attacker which gains the access to the database. So definitely, when you are into online shopping or anything, your data is saved in that web application developer site. So automatically, they take all the data of yours without your permission. So this is SQL injection. And the next one is de-anonymization attack. Anonymization is hiding your details. So de-anonymization, as we know from the word itself, it says it is definitely taking your data without your permission. Your names, pictures can be misused, misinterpreted. So anything can happen anytime. So these are the attacks happening in social network platforms. So we have to be very careful. So how to overcome this? So this is just a diagrammatic approach of the attack. I have explained only few of the main attacks, targeted threats for social network platforms. And coming to the studies, so many theses have been done. How to secure the platform, how to secure your data, how to preserve your data privacy in your social networking platforms. So many authors have done so many researchers on this, and they have found out solutions also. And even though when it comes to network, we can't assure 100% security, but definitely we can minimize the threats, attacks. So that is the these are the related studies. I don't want to explain all these things. So many techniques have been performed to attain certain amount of security for the platforms.
Ma'am, your
Yes,
screen is not
it's
moving,
not
ma'am.
moving.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me share it again.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. That is why I'm telling that you have to press F5. It is in the presentation mode.
Yes, I have pressed F5 only, ma'am. Let me do it again. One second. Let me do it again.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, no problem.
Mhm. Yes, can you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Which slide are you seeing? Like your author technique implemented?
The screen is not much clear, ma'am, but something like
Okay.
one table is there, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Can you see in SQL injections now? SQL injections and de-anonymization attacks. I have pressed F5 actually. I can see sharing of my window is going on. Is it moving now? The threats on online social networks?
Only the stuck on one particular screen,
Table.
ma'am, but it is in table, ma'am.
Table in some color, brown color, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Is it moving now?
No,
Crypto
ma'am.
system?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Something is happening. I don't know why. Let me see. I have pressed F5 actually, as ma'am told. Let me see. This technology, we are actually, it's a boon for us, but something, if something happens, everything gets stuck. If I press F5, it gets stuck. I don't know why. Or shall I move like this so that we can save time?
Yes, ma'am.
It's better, ma'am. Is it okay for you, ma'am? Saranya,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am. This
Yes,
is
ma'am. Now it is moving, ma'am.
Yeah, because I'm
You
not in
just
the
scroll
F5 mode.
down.
I'm in
Oh,
the presentation. If I press F5, it gets stuck.
okay, ma'am. No problem, ma'am. In the slide window itself, you can move
Yes,
according.
can you see it? Now you can see
Yes, ma'am.
crypto
Yes,
system,
ma'am.
right?
Crypto system.
Let's
Yeah.
move it with us, ma'am, so that we can
Yes,
save
ma'am.
time.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So coming to these are the related studies that doesn't need any explanation. These persons have done so many researchers on these techniques and have implemented many algorithms to achieve the security to the maximum. I won't say it is 100%, but security to the maximum. Okay. So coming to the crypto system, before entering into cryptography, we need to know what is crypto system. So we have got so many algorithms, and what is actually happening behind us? If you're going to give a plain text, it is being encrypted, and some keys are being generated, and the key is shared with the person whom you want to send the text. And in the text receiver side, again the encrypted message is decrypted. So this is the basic happening in the crypto system. The output we call it, that is the change. The encrypted one is called as the ciphertext, and unreadable text. We can avoid the eavesdroppers and the hackers to take our text or video or image, whatever we are sending to the other person. So this is the crypto system. This is how the crypto system works. Okay. So next one is the goal of cryptography. So what is the exact goal of the cryptography is? So we are going to authenticate a person who is going to use my key. So I'm going to create a key, and the person should be authorized to use that key, and I'm giving the authentication rights. So with this, what we can achieve is data integrity. Definitely, you are restricting the persons to enter into your channel and use your data. So we can definitely integrate the data is integrated, and the confidentiality is maintained, and access control is also restricted to the person who are authorized. So these are the goals of cryptography, and with these goals, they have taken so many, created so many algorithms here. The main divisions of algorithms are symmetric, asymmetric, and hash functions. Symmetric is only one key, so I don't want to go much into it because this is just a review paper. Secret key, we call it as a secret key. One key is generated, and that key is shared with the other person so that he can decrypt the message and view the message. And example, AES, DES, and so many TDES, and so many algorithms have been invented. And asymmetric is two keys cryptography. We call it as public key cryptography, and the owner produces the public key, and private key is produced, and the private key is shared with the receiver side, and the receiver can decrypt the message with the help of the private key. So here we have two keys, so that the security is much more better in social networking platforms. I won't say it holds good for all the fields, but I would like to say this is asymmetric cryptography is better for the open social networking platforms. Example, RSA, ECC, and ECDSA. So many algorithms are there. So we can have any one of these algorithms. And the last one is the hash functions. These hash functions can be included along with symmetric and asymmetric, because the mathematical calculations definitely make the hackers to work a lot to decrypt the message. So these are the types of algorithms we have in cryptography. And this is a diagrammatic representation for easy understanding. So we have plain text, ciphertext, and the receiver side decrypted message with the help of the private key, public key. And asymmetric encryption, we have plain text, receiver also. The ciphertext is there. Two keys are involved here, public key and private key. And this private key shared with the receiver so that he can decrypt the message. So this is a diagrammatic understanding. And the next one is the algorithms. I will just move on fast. So ECC, when compared, we have got so many algorithms. Even today, they are inventing so many algorithms. But when compared to the symmetric cryptography, asymmetric is considered to be the best for the open social networks, and that has been proved by so many theses. So many authors have proved the facts with the analysis, comparison analysis, and all the workings. So ECC is elliptic curve cryptography, which involves mathematical calculations. As we all know, over a finite field, the key is generated with the pseudo-random number generations, and the decoding is done. When a hacker tries to decrypt the message, he needs to take months and months to decrypt the message. So this is the best, one of the best algorithm for the open social network platform. And DSA, digital signature, it is far more better. That is, the signature is involved here, and the authenticity signatures will involve and give us a good security for the things. And the Diffie-Hellman can be incorporated along with the ECC algorithm, that is called as ECDH. And if one obviously, when mathematical calculations are involved more, definitely the hacker will take time to decrypt the message. He has to decrypt it doing the reverse procedure. So definitely it is going to be time taking. So Diffie-Hellman can be incorporated along with ECC also. And Blowfish is another algorithm which is very useful for uh, networking platforms. Uh, uh, Among all these algorithms, I would say ECC and Blowfish are the best with already known findings from the authors. So this is just a comparison between the algorithms with the block size and the key generation time and the encryption time taken with all these algorithms. So this is just a comparison, and this shows the ECC and Blowfish definitely are the best, and RSA is also the best, I can say. But when if it takes 1000 to 24 bits for key generation in RSA, it takes just 128 bits in ECC. So comparatively, if we are going for green computing and all those things, the heat dissipation, the time taking, and the encryption time, everything is the best in the ECC algorithm. So coming to the conclusion part, uh, even though all the so many cryptographic algorithms are studied and analyzed well, we have definitely a fear of hacking. We can't say that it is 100% assured security, but to the maximum, we can secure our networking platforms with the help of these algorithms. Then you can ask why Facebook is not incorporating all this. That is a business, that is their business, because they want to sell our data. We have to be very careful while using these platforms. So they have their own advantages and disadvantages, setbacks, everything is there. But we have to compare the all the algorithms so that we can get a good algorithm to prove the security. And with the previous findings, I can conclude that the ECC and Blowfish are the best, and even better than Blowfish, ECC is doing the best because many more algorithms can be incorporated along with the ECC to achieve better security. Because its flexibility and the key structure helps us a lot to achieve the security. So with this, I conclude. And any questions, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I have only two clarifications, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, please.
Ma'am, in the conclusion, you mentioned that asymmetric algorithms are much suited for the social network.
Yes, ma'am.
But in the symmetric algorithms, you mentioned that the symmetric algorithms are the best solutions for the social network, right, ma'am?
Symmetric can also be done, but when compared to the symmetric algorithms, we have two keys. So obviously, definitely, asymmetric algorithms give us more security, ma'am. We
But
can't say that
ECC algorithm comes under which category, ma'am? Symmetric or
ECC
asymmetric?
comes under asymmetric algorithm, ma'am.
Asymmetric algorithm.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, yes, I got your topic in that morning itself. I just to go through in the Google that paper may already published, ma'am. Just to go through it.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Because you mentioned that you are ready for that paper from the 2019 itself, but I think it may be published, ma'am. It is published, ma'am.
This one, ma'am. Which one, ma'am?
And your paper, ma'am. This paper.
Yes. Yes, yes. Mine is, but I have made some modifications in this paper, ma'am. Actually.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
You mentioned that this may be my may be presented, ma'am. It is presented already.
Yes, I have not presented this paper, ma'am. I've just given for the publishing. But this paper is the other one has got so many variations, ma'am. So after that, I made some more analysis, and then I have made different things in this paper, ma'am. Actually.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Okay.
well and good, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so
ma'am.
much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Narmada. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Narmata, ma'am. Ma'am, next one is that Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am? Ma'am, it is not audible, ma'am. Hello, Bhuvaneshwari, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You can start present, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I say,
Little bit
actually, I am at my native, ma'am. I asked Narmada ma'am to share my screen. Already I shared the PPT to Narmada ma'am.
I think she is doing, ma'am.
Bonishri, shall I share your?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes, Durga ma'am, please.
One second. One second. One minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Once again, Bonishri, I'm trying to get you once again. Just a minute.
Durga ma'am, if it is possible, you may call upon Narmada ma'am to connect with this meeting, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. I'll call her and connect with you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank
Sure, sure, ma'am. Yes. One second. I'll share Bhuneshwari's and then call her.
Okay,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
shall I call the next one, ma'am?
Yes, Narmada ma'am.
Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, Narmada ma'am,
Ma'am,
kindly please share my PPT, ma'am. Already I informed you that you
No,
have
no,
to
wait,
share
wait.
this.
I'll
Ma'am,
share
actually,
it, Bhuvaneshwari, once again.
Yes.
Okay, I'm able to see if I press F5, everything will go. So I'll keep like this,
Yes,
right?
yes. Thank you. Thank you, Durga ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I start now, ma'am? Sharon, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You can start, ma'am.
Yes, good morning to one and all. I am Bhuneshwari, a research scholar of Presidency College. So I'm going to discuss a review paper on the security schemes for the group communication in Internet of Things. So already we know that Internet of Things is a group of devices we are going to connect it together through the internet. So the mainly we are sharing all our data between us. So we are going to create one group. So for example, if we are having the WhatsApp groups, we are having all our friends inside the groups, and we are sharing all our photos and all our data, important data, everything we are sharing. So likewise, by using the IoT devices, we are going to create some communication. If you are going to create some groups, then there we are going to share all our details. So the group communication is so the for real time examples of group communications are we are going to use this in the IOMT, and they are using in the smart houses and smart cities, and in the transportations they are using in industries, and recently in the agriculture also, yeah, they are using the IoT devices because the field for example, the officers in the agriculture, they are not regularly visiting all the fields in the villages. So they are giving all the IoT devices, and they are sitting in the fields, and they are getting all the data from their house, from their office itself. So these are some of the real-time examples of the group communications. So while we are communicating all these details, while we are communicating all the devices, we are going to communicate the data. So the data will be attackers. Attackers will capture all your data. So if, for example, so in agriculture also it's not a major issue when the hackers are hacking our data. So it's also some of the problem also, but it is not that much serious that they can hack the data. But if you are going to use in the IOMT means when you are sending the data, when the for example, if we are having the smartwatches in our hand, when our doctor is receiving our BP or something else, our heartbeat disease, everything, if they are receiving, the hackers can hack our data. So they can get the details of this. Okay, this person is having some issues. So we can give some suggestions. We can give all these things. They can hack our data. So in the group communication, when you are going to communicate all these devices, we can create one lightweight key while you are communicating your data between us. So this lightweight key was communicated by is generated by the group manager. So the group manager get from the KDC, that is a key distribution center. They're getting all the data. That is, they get the key, and that key will be distributed to all the things. So the why we need this group key? That means so to provide the better secure communications in the IoT devices, we need this group key. So okay, so next, because we are having the less secure environment in IoT devices, so we need the group key for communicating all these data. So to efficient this, to secure more of our data, so we can create the lightweight group key communications between the devices. So what are the security issues as we have is object the interviews, as we said earlier, the attackers can access all the data from the devices. So to avoid this, we can create a lightweight key. So the system designs. So who are all in the devices? We are having all the IoT devices, and we are having the client as there is a user as well as the server. There's if in the IoT device means we can have the patients and we can have the doctors, and we are having the group admins as all that. They are called as the group admins are called as the group managers here. And to get the keys is we are having the KDC. There's an automatic key generator, we can have it. So that is these are the some of the system designs we having. So device memberships. So what is the purpose of the group manager? You can ask what is how you can secure this data. The group key can also hack by the hackers. Then how it is very secure, you can ask. So here we are having the forward security and the backward security. So here, if you are going to enter the new devices, if in our group, suppose if you are having the 5 members, if you are going to add the new members, the group manager will add the new members, the new user inside the groups, and he will create the group manager will so recollect, that is he will generate the key once again. So the old key cannot be used by all the members if the any user enter or leave the groups. Because because if the new group members if enters means all other members will not know who the member is inside the group. So if I am going to generate the new key, then it will intimate all the members in the group that there is a new member inside our group. So if they want some data, so you can give the data to them also. So likewise, because if we did not initiate all the members that we are going to use a new member inside the group, they will be they will not know whether they are the one of the member in the group or they are the trackers. They are getting the data from us. So the group manager will create a group key, or he will renew the group key when the user enter the group and when the user leave the group. Why we have to create a new group key when the user leave the group? Because when the user leave the groups, he can know the key we are using inside the group members, the group communication. So he can access the data when he leaves the group also. So the group manager main work is he has to generate the key when the user enters or leave the group manager's key. So then what is my lightweight key means? That is as the Durga ma'am has discussed about the key generations. There is a cryptography as a plain text and cybertext and symmetric and asymmetric. So that also I'm having here also. So I no need to explain again. Here the there's a main that I want to do here is, so while you are creating the keys is whether we can use a symmetric key or asymmetric key for the group communications to create the lightweight key. So instead of this, I'm having one new idea that I can create the hybrid data to create a data. That is, I can communicate. That is, I can create the key by using both the algorithm by the symmetric as well as an asymmetric algorithm. Inside the symmetric algorithm, we are having the many algorithm like AES algorithm, DS algorithm, so AES or DS like this. So I have chosen only the AES algorithm, and in the asymmetric algorithm, you are having the AES, RSA, and digital signature. I have taken the RSA algorithm. So I am having one thought of creating a hybrid algorithm for creating the lightweight key while you are passing the data from the one system to the another system. So it will be very secure for this because the hackers will not know whether that how they create the data. So they will know they will thought of only they are using the asymmetric algorithm or asymmetric algorithm. Here already many of them are used here, but they were used in the step-by-step process. So for the one purpose they are using the asymmetric algorithm. For the next purpose, for example, for the registration they are using the symmetric algorithm. While they are communicating, they are using the asymmetric algorithm. So I'm having the one plan of creating the there is a hybrid algorithm, but it is a dual algorithm for the key creation itself. So I'm going to create both the algorithm. I'm going to use both the algorithm. So for creating the key itself. So this is my idea. I'm going to do this. So it will be very useful it will be very secure for the data. So because in the IoT devices, while you are communicating in the group communication also, the person inside the group also, they cannot, in my work, they cannot access the data from the group members itself. For that also, they have to get they have to get the permission from the group manager. So everything, anybody else in the group had to access the data from the some others. They have to get the permission from the group managers. The group manager is a person who can give the permission for the others to communicate and to get the data. So it will be very secure the data because in the nowadays all the hackers are creating or getting all the data from us. As already told before, all the members are told this in this field in this technology world, the data is everything is open to everyone. That everybody can hack the data. So we have to secure our data. So while you are in the communications, while you are in this IoT devices, we have to secure our data more or less. So everything will be hacked by the hackers, but it takes some other months to years to communicate to hack our keys. So everything will be possible for the hackers also to break our key also. So because they also thinking like us only. So it will take some other days or month or years to communicate to break our data. So this is my conclusion, ma'am. So that's all. Thank you so much. I think whether it's
Ma'am?
audible or not.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are mentioning that lightweight key cryptography, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How it will be applied in the real-time IoT system?
Yes, ma'am. I have used in the Raspberry Pi and it is very useful. It is capable of doing that, ma'am. It's having the capable of showing that 256 bits is there, ma'am. So I can create that key. That's Raspberry Pi I have used it here, ma'am. So for the simple
Ma'am, you are
communication.
in the review phase, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the next stage of the review, ma'am. I'm doing the process here, ma'am. I'm creating the algorithm. I'm doing the implementation process, ma'am.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Next, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Okay,
let's
ma'am.
talk. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Narmada, ma'am. Thank you, Durga, ma'am, for helping me, ma'am. That's the runtime. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall I call the next one? Dr. Angita.
Description, ma'am. Shall I do it, ma'am? Now, ma'am, is my voice is audible, ma'am? My name is E. Divya Jyoti, ma'am.
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
We can call
We
you after that 14. This is it.
Ma'am, shall I call the next one, ma'am? Dr. Angita.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Angita on
Yes, yes,
screen.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. You can proceed,
Yes,
ma'am.
you're presenting us. Just a moment, ma'am. My screen is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Yeah, thank you.
Namaskar, I am Dr. Shefali Mathur, Assistant Professor IIS deemed to be University Jaipur, presenting before you with my co-authors Dr. Ankita Chaturvedi, Associate Professor IIS deemed to be University, and Dr. Ashish Porwal, Assistant Professor Finance and Accounting, Institute of Law, Nirma University, Ahmedabad. On the topic leveraging banking customer experience through through artificial intelligence and application of structural equation modeling. Artificial intelligence is a simulation that helps humans work smarter. AI can solve problems and make decisions in the same way that humans do. It is now widely used in many industries to perform routine tasks, including banks. Artificial intelligence can be applied to banking industry in following ways: as analytics, robotic process automation, and chatbot, and risk mitigation. Banks use analytics to discover the trends, to analyze the customers' data, to categorize their customers based on their risk level, evaluation of time involved to serve a single customer, fraud detection, biometric identification, etc. Robotic process automation performs repeatable tasks in banks such as opening bank accounts, provide error-free and quick services, improve business process and service quality, and also examines the bank loans and their disbursement. For risk mitigation, artificial intelligence has been adopted by banks for fraud detection, handling large amount of digital information, fight against money laundering, online payment counseling, biometric fraud detection, and many more. By utilizing artificial intelligence, banks are reducing credit bills, improve payment security, automating compliance associated operations, saving time and cost, and thereby offering quality services to their customers and improving their experiences with the banks. We have reviewed 21 research papers, 11 papers are related to artificial intelligence awareness and its applications in banks, and 10 papers are related with customer experiences. These are the references for the same. And after reviewing the literature, after reviewing the research paper, it is found that there are numerous studies on artificial intelligence technologies and banking sector. With advent of fresh AI trends, some are specifically based on analytics, RPA, and chatbots, or they are based on risk mitigation. However, no studies have been done on relation of AI awareness, application, and customer experience of the banks. The research attempts to find out the awareness level of AI and its application among the banking customers and their impact on customer experience toward artificial intelligence-based banking operations. Research methodology includes research is empirical in nature, target population is tech-savvy banking customers, sample frame comprises the customers of Indian commercial banks, sample size is 300 respondents, and they were selected on the basis of convenient sampling techniques. Now my co-author, Ankita ma'am, will continue further.
Thank you, Shefali. So this is the proposed model of our study. We have three major variables, that is AI awareness, AI application, and the customer experience. The proposed model shows the second order CFA and the structure equation modeling where the mediating effect of AI application is checked on awareness and customer experience. We have made 5 hypotheses for this study. The first hypothesis is awareness of AI is a second order factor comprised of the sub-dimension of analytics, RPA chatbots, and risk mitigation. Second hypothesis is application of AI is a second order factor comprised of the sub-dimensions of analytics, RPA, and chatbots, and risk mitigation. Third hypothesis is customer experience is a second order factor comprised of the sub-dimensions of timely response, convenience and accessibility, security and risk mitigation, technical empowerment. Fourth hypothesis is awareness of AI has a significant effect on customer experience. And fifth is application of AI moderates the relationship between awareness of artificial intelligence and customer experience. Coming to the modeling process, the structure model and the measurement model are the two parts of the structure equation modeling. Using AMOS version 23, the maximum likelihood estimation approach was utilized to assess the overall fit of the measurement and structure models. The initial fit index was the chi-square. The study includes the goodness of fit index, comparative fit index, normed fit index, incremental fit index, parsimonious goodness of fit index, parsimonious normal fit index, as well as the root mean square error of approximation. This is the demographic profile of the respondents. Coming to the data analysis and discussions, first we have to check the normality assumption. The absolute value of all the variables were found to be within the acceptable range, that is, the absolute skewness value is 2 and absolute kurtosis value of 7. Therefore, the data was deemed to be normal and is ideal to investigate further for same usage. The CFA factor analysis. The first stage involved putting the second order factor model for AI awareness, AI application, and customer experience to the test. The below table number 2, shows the results. All the values are within the acceptable range, that is, the CMIN and by DF value is less than or equal to 5. The GFI value is greater than or equal to 0.9. CFI is close to 1, PGFI is greater than 0.5, PNFI and IFI, PNFI is greater than 0.5, IFI and NFI are close to 1, and RMSEA values range from 0.01 to 0.0. So all these values are within the range. The results supported the 3-dimensional second order factors of AI awareness, AI application, and the 4-dimensional second order factor of customer experience. Then we have checked the convergent and discriminant validity. The table shows the reliability and validity analysis of the measurement scale. Starting with the latent variables which we have in our study, then is the composite reliability, average variance expected, maximum shared variances, average shared variances. The acceptable range for composite reliability is it should be greater than 0.7. In all the variables, it is greater than 0.7. The acceptable range for average variance expected is it should be greater than 0.5. The acceptable then your composite reliability should be greater than your average variance extracted, which is there in the table. Then maximum shared variances should be less than the average variance extracted, and the average shared variances should be less than the average variance extracted. So all these are the values are in the limits. All the requirements of the convergent and discriminatory validity are met, and it is satisfied. This is the structural model, the same model which we have made. 7 statements were removed during the initial testing of overall measuring model. We had 39 statements in total, and now there are 32 statements in this model, which were left with us in the final same model. All the in the structural equation modeling index, all the CMIN by DF values, GFI, CFI, all the values are again in the range. Therefore, the model fit indices for the final overall measurement model is acceptable. This table shows the regression path coefficient and its significance, showing for all the hypotheses. Since the p-value of all the hypotheses is these 3 stars are basically 0.000, so this is in the acceptable range. All the hypotheses are accepted. The findings validated the three-dimensional second-order factor of AI awareness, AI application, and customer experience, as well as the four-dimensional second-order factor of customer experience. Furthermore, it was discovered that AI awareness has a considerable yet very modest influence on customer experience and a considerable beneficial influence of AI awareness and AI application on customer experience, with AI application serving as a powerful mediating variable is shown in the overall calculations. The key theoretical contribution relates to the inclusion of three dimension of AI awareness, AI application, and four dimension of customer experience in a single model. Basically, in the whole SEM modeling, we check that whether the AI application is serving as a mediating variable between AI awareness and customer experience, and the overall result satisfies it. Coming to the conclusion, and Dr. Ashish sir will explain it now.
Thank you, Shefali ma'am. Coming on to the conclusion part, the study suggests banks use different strategies to incorporate artificial intelligence into their processes. AI application is found to be the strong mediating variable between AI awareness and customer experience. As a result, it suggests that artificial intelligence enabled banking services are important for supporting customers with their financial demands and even dealing with banking concerns. Banks can continue to enhance their banking apps and strive to give more services to their customers through their banking applications in order to fulfill all of the expectations that customers have through their banking applications, and as a consequence, better banking client relationships. Coming on to the limitations and scope of other study, the study is limited to AI awareness, AI application of artificial intelligence, and its impact on customer experience. More variables like policy violation, digital divide can be considered in further studies. Moreover, the sample size 300 from commercial banks may be small when compared to the total population of banking customers in India. A sector-wise comparison to assess the banking customers' experiences with artificial intelligence, which can suggest bank an area of implementation of artificial intelligence-enabled banking operations. Ma'am, next slide. References. These are some of the literatures which we have included in our research. Thank you so much.
Sir, you are collecting the data and applying it into SN, right? Right, sir? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are collecting all over the bank details, and then you can apply into the STEM statistical model, right, ma'am?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. You proceed on that. Next presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Next, I call upon P. Vishal.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the side visible? Hello, ma'am. Is the side
No, sir.
slide?
Your side is not visible, sir. Participant, a small request. Kindly finish your presentation for your allotted time, please.
Is the slide visible now?
Yes, sir. Your slide is visible.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. I'm Vishal. I will be presenting the paper. And this one correction has to be made. Like next presenter, Govind is also an author of the paper. So there's a slight mistake in the list that has been sent. And now moving on to the paper presentation. These are the tables of contents: abstract, introduction, literature review, research methodology, findings, interpretation, and conclusion. So the purpose of this study is to basically comprehend how AI will affect this customer relationship management, the challenges that the firms face while using AI, as well as how it is done. So the keywords used are like artificial intelligence, customer relationship management, business to consumers, tools of AI, challenges. So the research is purely based on secondary data and summarizes the developments in the field so far. So moving on to the introduction part, artificial intelligence is one of the branches of computer science which aims to build intelligent machines. So in recent times, the use of artificial intelligence technology has become increasingly important across numerous industries. According to the survey of Global Independent, 61% of respondents believe that the development of artificial intelligence will result in a better society. When developing an AI system, both the risk of failure and growth depend heavily on the customer's experience. So, I have taken 13 review of literature, basically dating from 2016 to 2022. So, then the research methodology, a statement of the problem. The problems we are focusing on is how far is the implementation of AI in CRM successful across various sectors. The challenges we will also focus on the challenges faced by organizations in the process and the main tools of AI. The scope of the study. This research paper focuses on studying the past paper written over the period of past 7 years and identify the progress of research in the area of artificial intelligence for effective management. The objectives of the studies are to identify the progress of research in the field of CRM, field of AI for CRM, to identify the prominent tools of artificial intelligence used by business, to understand the implementation of artificial intelligence across various sectors, to bring out the challenges faced by organizations in the process of implementing AI. There are certain limitations to the study. Those limitations are this study is only based on secondary data. Only 12 research articles are considered while preparing this paper. This paper was written within a time span of 25 days. So there wasn't much time to prepare for this paper. There was no much information received about AI for CRM for education and other sectors. So findings and findings and interpretations. Several corporate organizations fully believe that AI will enhance the CRM. Several companies are already using AI to provide better service to their customers. Millions of dollars are being invested in the study and development of AI tools by both industry and academic institutions. By offering dependable service to its clients and retaining them as clients for an extended period of time, Amazon's artificial intelligence would play a significant role in preserving relationship with its clients. So, to cut costs, boost productivity, boost security, and improve customer experience, banks and financial institutions are implementing AI technology such as cloud computing, blockchain, machine learning, etc. So, major tools of AI are a speech recognition tool. Using AI technologies, this program turns spoken words into text. The newest application uses IBM Watson's input technology, which accepts client speech and produces result in text or graphic format. Visual perception. The newest technology offered by AI is the visual perception. Now, photos and films may be recognized and identified by computers. These tools are made available to customers by businesses like Google, Facebook, etc. for picture search. Then text analysis and email. Text analysis and email is one of the most recent and crucial ideas after big data is text analysis and email, often known as text mining. It falls under the umbrella of AI subfield called natural language processing, NLP. Bots. Also known as web robots, interactive agents, etc. It is a real-time intelligent interaction tool that business use to offer better customer service. It employs a powerful natural language processing system and self-runs. It generates recommendations with processing trillions of bytes of data in milliseconds. The most popular bots are used by being implemented. Numerous business are chatbots. Tools for recommending products. It is a prediction software. This software anticipates consumers' shopping behavior. This enabling businesses to suggest goods that will appeal to their target market. This application is widely used by Amazon, Netflix, and Uber. Challenges of implementing AI. There are certain challenges. These challenges are lack of qualified human resources. The biggest challenges is a shortage of qualified human resource. The current workforce is uninformed about the newest technology and applications. High cost. The development of maintenance cost of AI were quite high, intricate, to keep up with needs of changing environment. AI is composed of sophisticated software and programs that must be updated frequently. Quality of data set. Business are very concerned about any risks brought on by university unverified data. Examples include the risk of developing an AI system for KYC compliance if the data source is unreliable. Security and storage. Application of AI use a large amount of data to make wise conclusion. Utilizing enormous volumes of data might provide storage constraints, and data-driven automation can raise data security issues. Trust on AI. Adoption of any idea necessitates a high level of confidence in it. Many banks, companies, clients, customers still hold fear about AI. AI is unreliable, especially in the banking and fintech sectors where there is money involved. So I'm concluding this paper by saying it has been observed that even the organization implementing technology, the management of an organization still feel uncertain about whether the expected result will be realized. A poor design process and a deficient information processing system are typically to blame for this. In order to overcome this constraint and avoid any unexpected and undesirable complications when utilizing the latest tech, the staff must obtain enough training. This point of view holds that a technology revolution can either help or hinder an organization's ability to implement a new system. So, thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible to you all?
Just a second, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am Saranya, ma'am, do you have any questions, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Can proceed, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Next, I call upon the Dr. Nazreen B.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving this opportunity to present my research work in front of you all, ma'am. I'll share my screen now. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you able to view my screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. The title which I have coined over here is Adaptive Learning Environment to Detect the Learning Styles of the Students. The overview of this research paper is about the educational data mining. The main objective is to modeling the students, the students modeling, and the base algorithm which I have used over here is random forest. The data which I have collected is from the Open University Learning Analytical Offline Survey and also the questionnaires. The tool which I have used to implement my work is Vega and SPSS. And the synopsis. So looking at learning styles, so each student has different learning methods. Teachers or the educators needs to realize and recognize the value of the differences. So number of researchers points out that learning approach may not be suitable for all the learners. Learners may have different background, especially in terms of their knowledge. So maybe their skills and needs. So each student's learning style will get differ. So each student's the differences we have to be look it up. So the mind functions in three ways, like cognitive, affective, conative. Cognitive, which means a thinking power. Affective is feeling, and conative means willing. So for example, I want to describe about it. Mental act is different from physical act. So, for example, if I keep a piece of iron near the magnet, what it will happen, it will just get attract. So that is the physical act. But when I place a dish of milk before a cat, the cat moves towards the milk and drinks it. So it is a mental act because the cat driven by hunger motive, that is knowing, thinking. The white liquid is a milk, so which likes to drink, so it's feel to drink it, and it actually moves towards the milk, so it's willing to move towards the milk and willing to move. So everything, it's about the psychological. So each individual have different psychological behavior. So psychology is defined as the science of behavior, the way human being behave and the reason of their behavior. The problem which I have stated over here, individual difference in learning styles. So we need to detect the needs of the learners. It's a challenging task for addressing issues related to personalization. And detecting the needs of the learners is a challenging task for system addressing and motivating the students. We need to look it up and demands for students' behavior modeling. And the objectives of this paper is to evaluate individuals in learning styles. There are several theories to index the learning styles, such as Kolb's and Felder's and so on. Here I have used Felder's Silverman learning style model, which is used to calculate the learning styles based upon the approach adopted in it. And the learning styles model is associated with an instrument that allows the teachers to identify the learning styles preferences of the student efficiently. So to enhance an e-learning aids for better content delivery, we can we can able to detect the preferences of the each students. It's very important. And the phase one, in this phase one, the diagram which describes about the learning styles models. So everyone has a different learning style, which has been mentioned in this diagram. So the spatial diagram, which means the students prefer their learning content using pictures, images, and diagrams. If the students who are in auditory or musical preferences, they can prefer the learning styles through sound and music. If they were a linguistic, they can prefer through reading, writing, and speaking. If they were a kinesthetic, they can read the preference through multisensory learning. And if they were a mathematical styles of learners, they can prefer the learnings things able to solve the problems and learning using logical techniques. And if it is a interpersonal learning style students, they can ability to interact with other people and social collaborations they prefer. And if they were intrapersonal, they can prefer to work alone and use self study. So these are the learning styles model. So the framework which I have used to detect the learning styles of the students, I have used the questionnaire method. I have using those ILS method, I have collected so many data. So using those data, I have did the pre-processing step. So that is level of preferences steps have completed. After it, I have used the statistical measures. So correlations analysis have been used to identify the learning styles of the students. And the dimensions, the diagram which described over here is the learning preferences. It's about there are totally four: one, perception, input, process, understanding. If the students what we say, if they were a preferences, how they want to perceive their content. So whether they were sensory or they will be intuitive. So if sensing means nothing but the preferred concrete or practical oriented, so they can want to learn towards the fact and procedures. If they were intuitive persons, they can conceptual thinking, and they can concern with theories and meanings. And the next input, so the input which they were needed is whether it should be visual or verbal. If there are visual, the students who visual representation, students can find it easy to visualize and imagine in their minds. And if they were verbal, they prefer written and spoken explanation. And for process, there are two thing is there: active or reflective. If they were active, they prefer to try things out and working with others in a group. If they were reflective, they are working alone without collaborating with others. And understanding is next is sequential and global. Sequential, they can think in a incremental steps, small incremental steps. But if they were a global, they were holistic thinking, they can learn in large group. So these are the dimensions is there in FSLS model, that is Felder Silverman learning style model. So based upon that, the dimensions which I have described in these pictures, the student can prefer their learnings in these 8 types of dimension. So this is that index of learning styles. So in this instrument, based upon the question, the students have answered in that questions, we can level up their preferences using this instrument. This is a level of preferences, and these are the surveys which I have taken. And based upon data mining techniques, I have clustered the students in 3 categories, like concrete, balanced, and abstract. If they were come under the concrete column, it can be noted that the cluster 2 and I'm sorry, in balance, the students who prefer the learning styles, they can balance both the concrete and abstract. So if they were balanced both, for example, I'm saying if the input, the students who need, if they were come under the balanced column, they can balance both visual and verbal type of learning material. And if the students who are in the column of concrete, they can learn their learning content through visual only. Or else if they were come under the column of abstract, they can learn the learning content, learning material through verbal only. So we have to analyze the students based upon the categories which have been mentioned in the tabular column. So the cluster 1 is named as concrete and cluster 4 is about abstract. So based on the learning style preferences of the respondent, it can be noted that students were not reflective, majority of them are active. In the second one, most of them were sensory and some of them are intuitive. And I have plotted this, the data in this graph. So this is the perception level and the input level,
Where did you
processing
collect the
and the
ILS
understanding
databases,
level.
ma'am? Ma'am, where did you collect the ILS databases, ma'am?
The conclusion is, so assessment tool for detecting and calculating the learning styles in collaborative way method I have used. So integrating the approach for detecting the learning styles and examining the psychometric properties of the index of learning styles also have been completed. That's all, ma'am.
Ma'am, only one query. Where did you collect the ILS databases, ma'am?
Ma'am, I can't hear you, ma'am. Can you please louder?
Where did you collect the databases for the ILS database, ma'am?
Ma'am, it is a questionnaire, ma'am. I have forwarded those questionnaires to
To the Google Form.
colleges. Yeah.
Oh, okay, ma'am. It is a real database.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Shall
you,
I
ma'am.
call
Thank
the
you.
next one, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you can call upon.
Yes, ma'am. Next, I call upon the Dr. T. Papita Christopal. The topic small bin garbage collection using IoT. Ma'am, are you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My student Karthikeyan will present, ma'am. Thank you. Karthikeyan,
Yeah.
proceed.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Karthikeyan from Assam University. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. Wait a minute. Ma'am, it's visible. Ma'am.
Yes, sir. Your screen visible, sir.
Yes, Karthikeyan, proceed.
Um, here, here I am presented smart bin garbage collections. Its usage, a smarter bin for a smarter city, for managing our waste in a smarter manner is hugely important to the quality of our daily lives. The ultrasonic fill level sensor, solar powered trans compactors, these are used in this smart bin garbage collections. And this is the list of content: abstract, specification, design, circuit, and questionnaires. This is the content of project. The project title is Smart Bin Garbage Collection. The aim of our project is to create a clean and green environment through IoT. Touching dustbin by hand often are problematic for some people due to hygienic conditions. The device is also having an alarm systems which will alarm whenever the reaches its high level. And I added to GSM module, jumper like tracking device and etc. Future will be used to this all of us. And this is even Arduino UNO. This is the main part of smart bin collections, one of the most important one. And this is one, the Arduino UNO is the best board to get started with electronics and coding. Arduino UNO is a microcontroller board based on the 80 Mega 328P. It has 14 digital input output pins. And we can simply connect into a computer with a USB cable or power with a AC to DC adapter or battery to get started. Otherwise, it's not usage. And these features of Arduino UNO. The operating voltage is 5 volt only. and the input voltage ranges from 6 volt to 20 volt, and DC current for each input output pin is 40 mA. DC current for 3.3 V pin is 50 mA, and this is the ultrasonic sensor, and this used to we can like dustbin is not uh, touched by our hand. This is the sensor, and ultrasonic sensor used to measure distance by using ultrasonic waves. And this type of sensor head emits an ultrasonic wave and receives the wave reflected back from the target. And whereas an ultrasonic level sensor uses a single ultrasonic element for both emission and reception. And this is distance calculation from ultrasonic sensor. This is the distance level formula. Distance L equal to 1 by 2 into T into C. This is the main one for ultrasonic. And this is the distance of diagram. And this is the ultrasonic sensor model. And these are inner connections. And this one is features of sensors like GSM sensors, tracking, this level of these resistant to mist and dead sensors. And this one is servo motor, and then this is one another main one. The servo motor is an electrical device which can push or rotate an object with great precautions if we want to rotate an object at some specific angle or distance. If a motor is DC powered, then it's called DC servo motor, and it's high torque servo motor in small and lightweight packages. Due to these features, they are being used in many applications like toys, cars, helicopters, planes, robotics, machines, etc. And this is the features of servo motor. And servo motor likely SG90 servo motor, only the usages of robotics, toys, and these types of garbage collections. And these are wires is mainly orange, red, brown. These are the main importance of connections and measurements also. And this one is very important of connections and garbage collection. Jumper wire. Jumper wire is a male to female, female to female, and female to male. And this one is breadboard. This was the connection to Arduino Uno, because breadboard is the under part of then like motherboard. These are connections like diagrams, circuit. The breadboard contains strips that are marked by red and blue lines with plus and minus. The red line is minus, and blue line is minus. They are called the buses, also referred to as rails, and breadboards are widely used in mini level projects and mini level projects for better executions. And these are GSM module. GSM module is a tracking device like our phone. Once garbage is filled through the GSM module is alarm to our collections. And GSM and GPRS network, it requires a SIM card just like mobile phones to activate communication with the network. And GSM also has an IMEI number for the identification, because GSM is not only a small one, it's have many types of GSMs. Like specify the IMEI number of our collections, receive, send, or delete SMS messages in a SIM, read, add, search, and it monitors the signal strength also. And in this project, I have used to do a GSM model for instincting on the height level of the dustbin by simply sending the messages. And this is the working of GSM module, and this is the GSM module uh, like content. This is the content of GSM module. From the below circuit, the SIM card mounted GSM modem is receiving digit command by SMS from many cell phone, sends the data to MC through serial communication. And this is the software requirements. We used in Arduino software because we used code PHP, and PHP supports only Arduino software. The open source Arduino software makes it easy to write code and upload it to the board. And this the output screen. And software profile, this is the Arduino cable, and this is the type of download Arduino IDE software. This is the steps of Arduino software. And power up your board. Arduino Uno board automatically draws power from either the USB connections, computer or external power supply, and launch Arduino. Like after downloading Arduino IDE software, you need to unzip the folder because it's the extract file. And these are the steps for Arduino board to connect collections. Sorry, garbage collection. And this is the
How
project
will
description.
smart garbage collection will work, Kanna?
Ma'am?
How can you obtain the smart garbage collection? You just explain that enough.
Ma'am, can you please?
Can you please explain your smart garbage collection enough?
Ma'am, these are, ma'am.
That are all the tools you have used for the garbage collection, ma'am.
Ma'am, these are so working for ma'am.
Okay, then where is your smart garbage collection?
Ma'am, these are back-end collections, ma'am. If I have this.
Okay, Kanna, you can proceed.
Ma'am?
Okay, you can proceed, Kanna.
Okay, ma'am. And this is the flow diagram for garbage collections. And we used a garbage bin sensor and notification level, percentage indicator, automatic open, and start. Okay, this one, system testing and implementation. The ultrasonic sensor should give proper output to check whether the output is accurate or not, and sensor output will be verified. The GSM module should send a message. If the text messages are reaching the phone, then the GSM module is working properly. Once the garbage is full, automatically GSM module is working properly. And test cases, this section involves inputs, expected output testing procedure. These are outputs for GSM collections. Connect the circuit according to the diagram, give power to the system, an ultrasonic sensor for the garbage level are ready to give output, sending message via GSM module. Once garbage is full or anything is full, we tracking to use GSM module. And alarm also. This is a module for automatic open close in smart bin. The first module is automatic open and close. This will be done using ultrasonic sensor. With sensor indication, the dustbin will open and close automatically. And this is the radius of 50 meter or 10 meter only. And this is the block diagram for ultrasonic sensor. These are connections to ultrasonic sensor. And this is the PHP code for connections. These are codes. This garbage monitoring system for level indication. And this the second module is level indication. In this system, the signal indicates the waste bin status at the monitoring and controlling system. If the dustbin gets filled at a certain level, it will make an indication to the community through message. And this is the code for SIM and GSM tracking device, etc. things. And these are things. Okay, conclusion. The involvement of residents or the end users making the idea successful and helping to achieve joint efforts for the waste management and hence fulfilling the idea of Swachh Bharat. It can be made durable by making it compact and cost effective. Small dustbins helps to reduce garbage pollution without proper maintenance of the dustbin. The garbage may overflow many times, and the animals like dogs or rats enter inside the tin and makes a great mess and unclean. So this creates a bad scene. To avoid such situations, to exaggerate the waste in a smart way, we have introduced the smart bin garbage collection method and hope this is the good endeavor of team members. It will help the society for the better environment. Okay, ma'am, this is the questionnaire of our collection. And
Ma'am, do you have any questions, ma'am? Shall I call next one?
Yes.
Ma'am, call the next one.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can proceed with the next
Yes,
one, ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Next person, Pandidurai P. Ethical issues on work from home in India, theoretical study. Sir, are you there? Sir Pandidurai? Sir, ma'am, shall I call the next one, ma'am? Sandeep.
Ma'am, Abhirami
Yes.
Jeswarna.
Sandeep, can you proceed,
Yes.
pa?
Yes. Am I audible?
Ah, yes, pa.
Is my screen is visible?
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, one and all present over here. And thank you for the organizers for providing me the opportunity to present my research paper. And myself Sandeep, research scholar, Department of Commerce, Annamalai University, and I'm presenting my paper, a study on the students' perception towards e-learning apps with special reference to Malappuram district. And I'm presenting along with my research guide, Dr. V. Deeldayalan, Associate Professor, PG Department of Commerce, Tirthan. Okay. Here is the introduction. You can benefit from e-learning applications at any point in the learning process. They have the power to support, guide, and facilitate learning while also giving access to resources to make learning simple and enjoyable. Learning applications integrate cutting edge mobile technologies, gamification, psychology, and best teaching techniques. To make study more engaging, many schools already use mobile apps, particularly for tablets, and may be used in class. So my study includes that the perception towards different e-learning apps by the students. So, meaning of learning, I would like to switch off these slides because all of you know about the e-learning apps and the major e-learning apps. Some of the e-learning apps here stated here: Byju's app and an Academy, Brainter, Entry, Coursera, and Concept All. And here is my statement of problem. The mobility of educational apps is primarily responsible for their popularity. And even when people don't have the time to sit on lectures or read books, they nonetheless need the education. It's possible to learn whenever you want to thanks to mobile devices and educational applications. Mobile devices and the softwares that runs on them advance throughout time. The study was conducted to learn how effectively students felt utilizing an e-learning software. And objectives of my study includes to understand the students' perception towards e-learning apps, to know the satisfaction level of e-learning apps among students, and to identify the problems faced by the students through usage of e-learning. And hypothesis includes there is no significant relationship between the gender and usage of e-learning apps. H1 includes there is significant relationship between the gender and usage of e-learning apps. Most of the IT developers were developed the different e-learning apps, but they do not uh, switch on to the perception level of the students. So my study belongs to that. And methodology includes descriptive research study has been identified by the researcher and convenient sampling technique has been used. And the researcher has taken 100 samples for the purpose of survey. And sampling area includes Malappuram district and primary and secondary sources are used and primary data is collected through the structured questionnaire with the students and statistical tools applied is for data collection structured questionnaire and data analysis has been done through percentage analysis and chi-square and data presented by tables and charts. And scope of the study. The study was confined to Malappuram district and it reveals the perception of two students towards the e-learning apps. And limited factors includes limitations includes the purely based on under respondents only, sampling area was limited, and the response from sample may be personal bias. And here is the data analysis. First one is awareness regarding the awareness of the respondents with respect to the various e-learning apps. Most of the students are aware about the different e-learning apps. 68% among the 100 respondents, 68% of the respondents are moderately aware about the e-learning apps. And usage of electronic phone devices for the purpose of e-learning is most of the students use a smartphone for e-learning apps, for using the e-learning apps. And usage of e-learning apps, the frequency of usage of e-learning apps. 44% of the students uses once in every 3 days. The e-learning apps has been used by the students once in every 3 days. 44% of the person uses them, and 26% of the students uses the e-learning apps on a daily basis, and only 10% rarely uses the e-learning apps. And easiness of finding information. The opinion regarding the easiness of finding information through online, most of the students agree that that is the 78%. 50% of the respondents agree, and 28% of the respondents strongly agree with the statement that they are easiness of finding information through online. So most of the respondents agree that they are easiness of finding information through online. And preference mode of e-learning class, the most of, even though the students agree that 78% of the students agree that easiness, there is easiness for finding information through online, but they prefer for the live online class, because while analyzing the weighted average class between the live online class and recorded class and live YouTube class and sending study reading material, etc., they prefer for the live online class. And number of hours that the students devote for e-learning based on the duration that is they are providing. The most of the students provide less than 4 hours for the purpose of e-learning. And easiness and user friendliness of different e-learning apps. Most of the students agree that this with the statement that they are easiness and user friendly of using e-learning apps. And productivity, regarding the opinion of productivity of e-learning apps over classroom learning, most of the students have a 50% agreement that they are using, agree with the productivity of e-learning apps. Quality of education provided by e-learning apps, most of the students agree with that. 60% of the respondents agree that there is the quality is provided by the e-learning apps, it's good. And preference of e-learning apps, and here only five five e-learning applications have been identified, and based on that study, Byju's have the first rank, and an academy have the second rank, and Entry app have the third rank, and BrainPep have the fourth rank, and others belongs to the fifth rank. And the most important problem faced by the students while using e-learning apps is the concentration with the e-learning apps. That is the most important problem that have faced by the students while using the e-learning apps. And internet connectivity also the another important problem faced by the students while using e-learning apps. And while testing the hypothesis, it has been based on the observed frequency and expected frequency. It has been identified that the table value at 5% level of significance at 6 degree of freedom is 12.59, while the calculated value is 4.01. So it has been identified that there is no significant relationship between the gender and usage of e-learning apps. And findings already suggested, and there is no significant relationship between the gender and usage of e-learning apps. And these all the findings has been I have explained while discussing with the tables. And my suggestions include teachers should present resources that more convenient to the students, and e-learning apps should develop in a manner that all period or courses of students can easily accessible. Cost of the e-learning apps should be reduced or enable an option to free entry, and give a class about e-learning advantages and disadvantages to the students. And conclusion, shall I conclude my topic by the result of this study shows that the strategy of implementing e-learning will be the best way for the students to be aware of new technology and willing to study in various concepts. Use of new technology will upgrade their knowledge, and online learning helps the students to create communicative new ideas and get the chance to uplift your skills and gain knowledge apart from the knowledge. One of the prime importance of e-learning is that it helps the students and teachers to develop and advance skills. Even there is issues related to e-learning and e-learning apps. By removing them, e-learning is a good opportunity to the academicians and also to the students. So I hereby conclude my study on the topic, a study on students' perception towards e-learning apps with special reference to Malappuram district, by realizing that after removing the issues related with e-learning apps, the next generation, that is the tech-savvy group, may prefer e-learning over classroom learning. So I hope that my study is clear to all of you presented here. And if you have any queries, then you can freely ask now.
Good initiative
Thank you.
towards the e-learning, Kana.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Next.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Divya Jyoti is there? Divya Jyoti?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If I want to
Yes, ma'am. You can proceed.
ma'am, just
Divya Jyoti? Your voice is not audible, ma'am.
ma'am, now, ma'am.
No. Your screen is not presenting. Yeah.
Now it is audible, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. You can proceed.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I have to introduce about myself. I'm Divya Jyoti, doing MBA in Mother Teresa University. My topic is basic essence of cloud computing. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is one of the famous and popular trend in today's technology. It is refers to a network or internet. Cloud computing is the delivery of computing resources, including storage, processing power, database, etc., over the internet. In simple, cloud computing is refers to storing and accessing of data over the internet and not using your computer hardware. There are three types of cloud computing that are public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. Public cloud. The cloud computing resources are owned and operated by the third party are termed as public cloud. The cloud computing resources which are used inside a simple business or organization are termed as private cloud. And the last but not the least, hybrid cloud. It is actually a combination of both public as well as private. Next, we are moving to the cloud components. There are three main components of cloud computing that are client, data center, and distributed servers. Client. A cloud client is a hardware device or software used to access a cloud service. The cloud clients are computer devices, tablets, navigation devices, human automation devices, mobile phones, and other smart devices too. These cloud clients are generally divided into three categories that are mobile, thin client, thick client. The second component is data center. A data center houses servers and data storage for an organization. This includes a hardware itself, a space in which it is housed, the power systems, backup systems, environmental control, ma'am, and anything else needed to keep those servers running. Next, we are moving to the third one, distributed servers. The servers will not be housed in the same location. The servers can be at geographically different locations, but the servers act as if they are working next to each other. These cloud servers are owned by the infrastructure provider. Next, we are moving into the essential characteristics of cloud computing. There are five essential characteristics of cloud computing that are on demand self service, broad network access, location independence resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured service. The first one is on demand self service. Cloud computing services are available on demand and do not require much human interaction. The user himself can provision, manage, and monitor the resources as per his requirement. With on-demand self-service, a consumer can schedule the uses of cloud services such as computation and storing as needs. In addition to managing and deploying these services, next one is broad network access. Cloud computing is accessible from a network generally over the internet. Similarly, private cloud services can be accessed from anywhere within the enterprise. The services are provided over heterogeneous devices such as mobile phones, laptops, tablets, office computers, etc. The next one is location independent resource pooling. The cloud must have large and flexible resource pool like networks, servers, storage, applications, and service to meet the consumer's needs. Applications require resources for their execution. These resources must be allocated efficiently for optimum performance. The next one is rapid elasticity. When required, the cloud can expand allocated resources quickly and efficiently. When not required, the cloud can reduce allocated resources quickly and efficiently. The resources allocation may be done automatically from the large pool of resources to the user. The last one is measured service. The utilization of resources by the customer is tracked, monitored, and controlled and reported for each occupant. This gives transparency to both the service provider and the consumer. The customer can then be billed based on the measured usage of only the cloud resources that were allotted for the particular section. Next, we are moving into the advantages of cloud computing. There are seven main advantages of cloud computing. One is backup and restore data, improved collaboration, excellent accessibility, low maintenance cost, mobility, services in pay-per-use, unlimited storage capacity, data security. And also there are some disadvantages also that are data loss or theft, data leakage, account or service hijacking, insecure interfaces and APIs, denial of service attacks, and the next is in technological vulnerabilities, especially on shared environments. Conclusion. Cloud computing is recently new technology, as I earlier said, developed that has the potential to have great impact on the world. In simple words, the virtualization is a part of cloud computing where manual management is done for interacting with a hypervisor. In cloud computing, the activities are self-managing, whereas API is used so that the users can self-consume the cloud service. So these are the basic essence of cloud computing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other participants is there? Any other participants who would like to present your paper?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, you can proceed, ma'am.
Shall I share my screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your time limit is 2 to 3 minutes, ma'am. Please.
Divya Jyoti, mute your mic now.
Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. This is Abhirami, currently a student at SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Ramapuram campus, Department of Computer Science and Applications. Our research topic is eating behavior identification of students using machine learning and SPSS analysis. These are the outline of approaches that we are going to see further. Let's start with a short and supple introduction. Today's food intake is going to define our future health condition. So we should be more concerned about our eating behavior. As we all know, extra nutrients and strength are provided by a meal that we take in our daily basis. In addition to that, nutrients found in food, other chemicals are also present and their effects on health are also becoming more recognized. The relationship between food, vitamin, and dietary habits has important, particularly for the prevention and development of chronic diseases. In today's world, we all have more food options throughout our life as a result of biological, social, and environmental influences. The motto of our research is to provide some evaluated information through examining the pertaining eating behavior in accordance of our food intake. The findings of this research may be utilized to make some recommendations in regards to drinking habits or even for predicting health conditions and nutrition malfunction priorly before it becomes worse. Before diving into the methodology and other stuffs, we get to know some list of significant eating behaviors that are consistently happening, if not that have to happen. Firstly, family dinners. Family dinners are the amazing opportunities for the parents to catch up with their children so that they can get control over their children's eating behavior. So next thing that we have to look into is buying healthy foods, especially snacks. Will help us to provide healthy snacks when in times of our children asking for it. The next thing that one should avoid is fights over choice of food. Often disagreements arises over food. As a parent, they should make their kids eat whatever they provide. That's what we call control over food choices. Good parents always want their kids to have healthy and nutritious meal. Then followed by this, including children while selecting the menu will prominently help the parents to make their kids consume the food without wasting it. Next, the methodology and the results we got out of this analysis will be discussed by our another member of our team, Ms. J. Swarna. She is also a student at SRM Institute. Swarna, you can proceed now.
Yeah, thank you, Abhirami. Is my voice audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Hello, this is Verna here. Let's continue with some of the methodologies. While using this SPSS software tool, there are some basic data management steps that are importing data, labeling data, sorting and merging the data. SPSS. It is abbreviated as Statistical Package for the Social Sciences. It is used for analysis of statistical data. It is a software that helps us to extract useful insights from our data. K-means clustering. K-means clustering is the ML algorithm. It consists of only unlabeled data. Its main goal is to identify the rules of K-means. Then ANOVA. ANOVA is a table for statistical analysis. Its main goal is to test the statistical significant difference between subgroups. Then here are some of the steps to be followed. Step 1. Click all programs from the SPSS tool to get started with the SPSS applications. Then After getting started, it opens the existing file. Then it asks for which file should be uploaded. Then select more files and upload our dataset. Collected dataset should be categorized to a new variable like fresh fruits, milk, and change the string type into numeric type. Then now extracting the results using k-means clustering. Finally, select analyze the data, classify, and k-means clustering. Finally, coming to the result, start cluster center. Once the cluster centers have been selected, each case is subsequently assigned to the closest cluster based on its proximity to those centers. And this is the table which demonstrates the cluster centers that we got out of the analysis. The numerics like 4, 1, 2 in this table are that are mentioned over here are the cluster centers that defines the amount of intake of a particular food item. Through this table, we can get to know fast food and fresh food are both above average in all instances, while all of the other components have below average levels. At last, coming to the conclusion, using this SPSS tool, we identified the eating habits of today's generation. This survey uses K-means clustering techniques to find out the consumption of foods of today's children. Only 51% of the children are intaking milk as their third preference. Hence, one should take in veggies and fresh fruits in their day-to-day meal. Finally, your diet is a bank account. Good food choices are good investments. So ensure that choice of intake is healthy and nutritious. Thank you for giving this opportunity to present our paper in this conference. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other sir, ma'am? Any other presenter?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, try to wind up 2 to 3 minutes, ma'am, please.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Evangeline Amrita from SRM University. My topic is about streamlining success, unlocking the power of inventory management strategies. The agenda of today's topic is Introduction to Inventory Management Strategies, Relevant Technology with Inventory Management Strategies, Experimental Methodologies, Strategy Analysis, and Conclusion. Inventory management system refers to the process of ordering, storing, using, and selling a company's inventory. Relevant technologies with inventory management strategies: automation, real-time visibility, supply chain prediction, satisfying customer, inventory optimization. Automated inventory management is how retailers track and organize stocks. Real-time visibility. Customers also rely on inventory visibility to find and buy products they want at any location. In the supply chain network model, due to uncertainty in demand, predictive control was applied to solve dynamic optimization of the inventory. Satisfying customer. By sharing the full range of products available, fulfillment choices, and tracking delivery to satisfy the customer. Inventory optimization. It is all about maintaining the correct inventory required to satisfy the demand. Experimental methodologies: just in time management, material requirement planning, economic order quantity, day sales of inventory. Just in time management is a form of inventory management that obliges working closely with suppliers. Material requirement planning is used to manage manufacturing process. Economic order quantity, it can perform a calculation that represents its order ideal size, allowing them to meet their demand. Day sales of inventory is the average number of days it takes for an agency to sell off inventory. For example, the manager of Supreme Furniture Company are interested in finding out how long its inventory remains in the store before it was sold. Why is inventory management for small business so important? Business of all sizes need to track inventory to help them manage cost and ensure efficient operations. they have an ample of supply to meet the product's customer demand. Is inventory has a big role in company or in our industry? Why? Striking a balance between the demand and supply is extremely crucial for business. Thus, inventory management provides aid in better planning. Types of inventory are raw material, WIP goods, finished goods, MRO goods, merchandise, transit inventory, anticipation, buffer inventory, decoupling inventory, cycle inventory. Strategy analysis. Some companies uses this strategy and make their business worth. Samsung used Lean Six Sigma method in the year 2022 and got the revenue of 241 billion. Lean Six Sigma method is nothing but managing raw material and semi-finished goods in the lean manufacturing process. Dell used JIT in the year 2022 and got the revenue of 105 billion. JIT means inventory management method in which goods are received from suppliers only as they are needed. Toyota used JIT in the year 2022 and got the revenue of 260 billion. Apple used JIT in the year 2022 and got the revenue of 394 billion. Amazon used vendor managed inventory in the year 2020 and got the revenue of 386 billion. Vendor management inventory is which a supplier of good, usually the manufacturer, is responsible for optimizing the inventory held by a distributor. Conclusion. In any business, whether it is a very small scale industry or a large scale industry, one should understand that taking good concern of report is very essential. Maybe the firm's manager won't understand the good concept of inventory management, so being familiar with it and its application is requisite. In that way, this paper provides the best knowledge related to it. One of the reasons for the non-success of business is its inventory organization. The motto that we took this project is to create awareness among the local marketers because they still don't know about these technologies that are really exist. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Next, I call upon Pravina. Any other presenter is there? Ma'am, shall I wind up, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
First of all, I would like to thank our technical resource person, Dr. Saranya, for the patient listening of our participants' research work. And I express congratulations for all the participants for excellent presentation. Once again, thank you one and all.
Thank you, ma'am.
The validity session will start at 4 p.m. The link will shared at the WhatsApp group.
Thank you, ma'am.
Once again, I repeat, the validity session will start at 4 p.m. The link will shared in the WhatsApp. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Participants, you can leave the meeting.